The most important reason why people get fat is the mere fact that they don't get enough sleep. Given the lifestyles of people now and the long hours of work and the lack of choices in terms of where they want to sleep and the traffic, people are not getting as much rest as they're supposed to. We're supposed to get about 8 hours of sleep each night, but for most people, 6 hours is the most that they can do with. And the gap of 2 hours causes a lot of stress on the body. So, which leads me to the next part of why people gain weight, which is stress. We're all doing multitasking roles. Moms are also working, they're juggling 3 jobs at the same time. And so that also contributes a big part to why people would gain weight. The more stress you have has been correlated to how much more weight you gain. The third point that I'd like to make is that food is also a big factor. People, because of the life they lead, would often prefer faster choices, more convenient choices. But those convenient choices also have an impact on the health of that person. Of course, the more convenient choices are our fast foods, and therefore the nutrient density is much less. But the caloric density is actually higher. So that actually contributes a bigger part to why people gain weight. Sleep is so important for managing weight, for the mere fact that it's only in sleep that we get to repair our bodies. When our bodies don't repair so well, it's always under a constant state of having a lot of oxidation and therefore eventually inflammation. More inflammation leads to more weight gain. So when people do not get the 8 hours that they recommended, or they're always chronically in what we call sleep debt, meaning they're sleeping 6 hours and they're always lacking 2 hours or more, people have a failed mechanism to repair, which leads to more free radical formation, more oxidation, they age faster, and therefore they gain weight easier. Metabolism, to put it simply, is basically all the chemical processes inside your body that allow you to live normally, from how you breathe to how your digestion works, how you absorb nutrients. Metabolism is important because in every step of converting one chemical to the next, there is an energy requirement. That energy requirement is what we call a calorie. How much calories we consume to breathe for our brain to work, that is what we call metabolism essentially. Without metabolism, all cell functions stop. If your cells stop functioning, basically you're dead. Okay? So if we have a failure of metabolism, either it becomes too slow, and therefore your body's unable to create all these chemicals and processes to allow you to live optimally, you will eventually run out of energy. At the same time, you will also have a tendency to gain weight as a way of your body to preserve energy production. I think it's a big misnomer to say that people cannot metabolize sugars, proteins, or fats. One of the things we have to get clear on is that whether it's sugar, fats, proteins, unless you have a genetic defect that prevents you from metabolizing these substances, particularly proteins, there's a lot of gene defects for that. Most people do not fall into those categories. When we say that you do not metabolize in the layman perspective, that we do not metabolize sugars well, it simply tells us that there's a part of our system that fails to recognize sugar properly and therefore break it down efficiently. Case in point are those diabetics, right? They ingest sugar, but their body's unable to clear off sugar fast enough. In those instances where people aren't able to clear, it's, I think, wrong to say that they don't metabolize sugar. It's just that their bodies have become inefficient in making sugar available for energy and also available as a building block for the body. To lose weight, the first thing you need to do is get enough sleep. Most people, just by sleeping, will lose weight on their own. And it's not because they're sleeping and therefore not eating, okay? It's mostly because sleep actually plays a huge part in how we manage stress, and it plays a huge part in our body's repair. Repair takes a huge amount of energy from the body, Okay, and using that energy towards repairing the body actually enhances weight loss. So that's the first thing. The second thing is definitely we have to manage stress. It's not practical to make people quit their jobs, but sometimes it can be life-saving, and that's actually very important. The third part is, of course, we have to manage food choice. It's not about restricting everything, but it's about choosing better quality food and choosing the right kinds of food that are suited for our body types.